Hello there. We're doing this on a Sunday. Jealous? Yeah. Let's give it a minute. Oh, I need a napkin. Hang on. I'll be right back. I have returned. I have toast. I have a napkin. I have fresh coasters. Bam! Guitar Bee coasters. And we'll put these in with the case candy that we'll have for perpetuity until they run out. So that's cool. Matt, good morning to you. How you doing? How's things going? How's everything with you? How's your 92 working out? I hope very well. So I was in, Mrs. Sully and I were in Santa Barbara, California for a couple days. We got back yesterday. A friend of ours had passed away, and we went out for her services, and kind of a bummer. Well, not kind of. It was absolutely a super bummer. But I'd never been to Santa Barbara before, and my God, it's lovely. I can't imagine, like the surrounding area. I think like Montecito is next to it, and then Carmel is next to it. And so, it's, I didn't get the sense that it was the most affordable place to live. But holy crap. See, that's the thing. I think that's one of those things where, we've got all those like, if I hit the Powerball, I'm gonna, and we've already talked about, I'm gonna get a NetJets subscription. I mean, I want a jet, but like, I don't want the upkeep of a jet because like, yeah, you can go anywhere whenever you want if you have your own jet, and that's cool. But like, I'm not going to be using a jet that much to where I would need to have my own jet. So this live stream sponsored by NetJets. Wouldn't that be great? Man, it's really sponsored by Toast. Good morning, Mr. Ramsey. And that's what we like to see. I'm glad. That is what we like to see. So yes, along with my NetJets subscription, I'd have to have a place in or around the Santa Barbara area because holy crap, it's beautiful. Flew into the airport there, little teeny tiny airport, super laid back. Everybody was just really, really cool. But so if considering the circumstances we were there, it was nice to have that as a not a buffer, but kind of makes the situation a little bit better. Anyway, I'm back. We're back. So, what are we going to talk about? It's a good question. Last time I spoke about on the last broadcast, we were talking about my realization of needing another CNC machine, or wanting another CNC machine, and seeing the benefits of having another CNC machine. That's the thing there is, because we can, much like a NetJet subscription or living in Santa Barbara, we all have wants. And while I could certainly say, I could see the benefits and I could justify having a NetJet subscription and a living in Santa Barbara, doesn't seem super realistic. But I can say, so this whole thing about like another machine, Adam and I were machining fretboards, and it's just one of those things that takes a lot. It's just time consuming, especially with the fret slotting and the inlays, because we're using very small bits. Very small bits can break into very small pieces. So we don't want that. So the trade-off is things take a little longer. And I don't think I'll try not to belabor the point, but it takes a really long time, and you don't necessarily get a whole lot for your time. It's like we spent a few hours making these fretboards, but we only have 4. You know what I mean? And like having 4 finished fretboards that are, nice thing, they're inlaid, radiused and slotted and, ready to glue up. So that's nice. But while that's going on, if we had another machine that was maybe making bodies, that was maybe a little bit more had more power than what we currently have, feel like we'd be getting somewhere. And then is the whole, we've got the goals. And there's how are we going to get there? Well, money, of course. just have the money for that sort of thing. That's the part that requires more figuring out, which, that makes me make that face, and nobody likes that face. People don't really like this face as it is, so going like, that doesn't help things. But we all know that our phones are listening to us and that sort of thing, because you see something, and then all of a sudden you see an ad, or you say something and then you see an ad for it. I'm surprised that, well, I won't go there. It was just a dumb fart joke. And so a couple days ago, I got an email from Laguna, which is the company that makes the CNC that we use. Wouldn't you know, they're having a huge sale. Wouldn't you know? And wouldn't you know, for just a little bit more, according to sale prices, for just a little teeny tiny bit more than I paid for the CNC that I have 4 years ago. Oh my God, 4.5, almost 5. For just a little bit more, we can get something more robust. That's the word. Robust. Say it with me. Robust. Good job. Well, you didn't say it. Come on. So, and then I'm just like, man, I don't need this in my life, but I kind of, it would be good if I had it in my life, right? Right? I think we can agree on that. It would be good. And so, exactly. Now we're going to get ads about living in Santa Barbara. My God, seriously. So you've got 2 half sisters and a half brother out in there. Go see them. I mean, unless you don't like them, but like, It's fucking lovely. It's I'm gonna say it's probably one of the loveliest places I've been in this country. Now, granted, I haven't been to all 50 states or whatever, but like, it's a this is oh. Would you look at that? It's lousy with the ocean. Anyway, good morning. There it is. Robust. What was I talking about? Okay, so I get this. We have a little bit of downtime while we were out there, and so I called the sales guy at Laguna, and I'm like, and he's been great. One thing I will say about, actually, I have nothing bad to say about my machine. It's a little noisy, but like, there's some ways I can add some sound dampening if I really cared that much about it. Things been great, which is good because, like, I'm not something goes wrong, I don't necessarily trust myself to be the guy to fix it, depending on what it is. I guess it's kind of like, sure, I could deliver a baby if I had to. But there are people that are more qualified to do so. So maybe let's get one of those people involved. Much like, so the same kind of thing. Anyway, so the machine's been great, and my sales guy has been an absolute champion. And so I call him up, and I'm like, all right, so let's just talk about this. And so we're having a conversation, and like, I'll just email you some numbers and stuff, and so then I get the email, and like, he gave me an additional discount, and I'm like, and like, with shipping and tax, like, it would be less than what I paid for the machine that I have now. Granted, when I got the machine that I have now, there were some other parts of the purchase, like, I had to get Rhino and Rhino Cam and that sort of stuff. Things that I wouldn't need to get now because I already have them. And I'm just like, really? That's how much it is? I'm like, oh, I don't have it on me. And there are, you can finance it and all that, but I just like, oh, I don't want to do that. And I don't really think it would be wise, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I know that it would move things along. If we had, because I'd keep my original one and then have this other one. They use the same kind of file management in that, so I talked about this last time, there's some have like a little handheld controller, some have like, you just connect a computer to the machine and you run it off the computer and all that stuff. But the one that I would want to get uses, like, I could theoretically use the same files that I'm using now on this new machine. It would be smart for me to like increase the speed rates for things like, bodies and stuff like that, because it could move 3 times as fast without it being a problem. And so that was my thought, and it would be a larger table. The table that I have now is a 2 foot by 4 foot workspace, which works pretty well. And the one that I would want to get that would, I really got to figure this out, is 4 by 4, which means you could take it off road. So that's nice. And that one would do bodies and necks, and we could have the current machine could run fretboards. could run pick guards, because you know one thing I absolutely hate making. Well, I hate making pick guards, but just because like the plastic, it just the shavings, it just gets everywhere. Granted, dust gets everywhere, but it's like, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I could have like because I've got this fixture that I take on and off for pick guards and stuff, and you know we could have a dedicated spot for fixtures. And anyway, so Evan, you know what? The breakfast goop looks like the color of my 7-string. Yes, it is. So this is yogurt with mixed berries that gives us this sort of shade. And you know, it's funny because like the color of your 7-string, I don't have an official name for it. We call it lavender, and yeah, I mean it has elements of lavender, but it has more elements of like strawberry yogurt or raspberry yogurt. We've already got strawberry milk as a color name. We don't need raspberry yogurt as a color name, but maybe like the unofficial one is like Sully's breakfast. So yeah, and you know, anyway, so I'm thinking run fretboards, run some bodies at the same time, and it's just one of those things. It would help build time. I mean, there's no downside other than like, no, there's no downside. I would have to rent a big fucking forklift because it's way too heavy for a lift gate. So that has its own, some sort of implication because, okay, rent a forklift. Who's going to drive the forklift? I know Adam is certified. Adam's driven forklift, so that would probably be his thing, but it is another one of those things where it's like, sure, I could deliver a baby. Let's get someone who could, you know, who has done this before. So there's that, but it's just you just figure it out. That's all you do. You just figure it out. It's fine. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, this will absolutely help build time. Like 1,000% it will. I'm not saying it'll make it 1,000% faster, but like it would be so much better. We could, like, yeah, that would be bitching. So I have the month to kind of figure it out because their sale goes on through the month of March. And why the fuck is it March? I really liked February. We had a real good February. So I would like it to remain February. If we could just do that, that would be great. Yes, exactly. One for bodies, one for necks. 1,000%. It is all about the feeds and speeds. 2 at a time. That's right. So, especially like, I could just see this, okay, we're going to run a fret slotting tool path over here. That's going to be doing its thing. That's like 20 plus minutes. And here's where someone's going, oh, actually, it should take just actually be quiet. And then we can just be over here doing the other thing over here. Anyway. So that was part of my weekend. At least the part that wasn't super fucking sad. So, I gotta try and figure that out. And, it reminded me of, 9+ years ago when I went full time. I did a Kickstarter to kind of like do some like shop enhancements and stuff like that. I'm like, I guess I could do that, but I'm like, I don't have no, you know what? I could do that. Sure. That's a possibility. I don't know how likely that is. Kickstarter thing is weird. I mean, it's not weird. It's an interesting experience because like, oh my God, you think you get sucked into social media and likes and follows and all that stuff. I was constantly checking which was dumb because I would get an email whenever somebody would back the Kickstarter. So there's really no need for me to, to look at it. But like, no, it's a roller coaster. It was an absolute roller coaster. So ended great. And I hit that particular goal like within the first 24 hours, which was lovely. But yeah, still, anyway, whatever. So a few things so far. Go to Santa Barbara. It's fucking lovely. And I would like a new machine. And so, yeah, our phones are absolutely listening to us. But it's cool. So later today, I'm going to have a conversation with Glenn Walker, who's he's KDH's buddy on YouTube. We're gonna do a live stream today about the new Ace Frehley record. So I'm going to what I should do is I should do some sort of link. There it is. That's the word I'm looking for. Do a link because it'll be fun. He's a seemingly lovely guy. Had a nice chance to had a good time chatting with him and Kieran at the NAMM show. And he's a huge Kiss fan, big Ace fan. And it's interesting. And I think maybe I talked about this last time. I don't know, probably. So he's a younger cat, and well played. A robust link would be preferred. Yes, of course. If you follow me on Instagram, and damn it, why wouldn't you? It's in my Instagram stories right now. There's a link to his channel because he made it super easy for me by posting something that he tagged me in, and then I can just share it. So we're going to talk about the Ace thing, and it was interesting. So he's younger cat, and I've often said that I think it would be, if you were to take a Kiss record to someone who's never heard them before and play it for them now, like, I probably don't think you would, they'd probably be like, this is really? Okay. But this will come as a great shock. I'm not always right. So what turned him on was Sonic Boom. Unfathomable. Blew my mind. Only unfathomable because of my previous statement, where I'm like, people are really gonna hear a Kiss record for the first time and go, oh yeah, because I felt that it was a whole it had to be there kind of thing. Anyway, I'm wrong. So lovely dude. He's we did chat about the Ace record at NAMM. We had, at that time, only 10,000 volts was out, and I've talked about that here. And then I watched. I will say, yeah, fuck it. You can just watch it when we do this. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll be something. Digging the surf green shell pink breakfast bowl combo. Thanks, Joe. And Tim, good morning to you. So we're going to do that today. The live stream, it'll be 5 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Dublin time, because that's when he wanted to do it. And that's like, okay, that's fine. We can do that then. And yes, I will. I'll probably. I think he sent me a thumbnail picture, so I'll post that on the Facebook page. But I know it's pretty pointless to do that because like Facebook isn't going to share that. But I will put a link to it in the comments of this video. So yeah, and whatever, when it's done, I'm sure I'll share it too. So the question, I was going back and forth about like, do I do it in Kiss makeup and not say anything? And then I'm like, because I still have my old Ace kit, but like I did a video last year with DJ Nelson where we just did a silly, little Detroit Rock City solo. And he wanted to do that in makeup. And so when the bottle I had of silver is just, it's no good. It was a liquid silver. It was really good. I had a really bitchin' makeup kit. I guess I still do, but this stuff is super expired. The silver, the liquid silver, it was like, it's metallic liquid silver. Say liquid silver again. And, it's kind of this mixture of, who knows what's in it. Space age polymers. Nobody knows. That it's all of that like evaporated and it hardened. And I'm like at one point, I'm like trying to mix it with water just to trying to get it to flow out again. And so anyway, but no, we're definitely, here we go. Sure, the idea is fun. If I could maybe just like start it with it on and then like that and it's gone, like in Kiss Meets a Phantom, I go, and then we're gone. And if I could do that, sure, that would be fine. But I can't. And we have my man Catfish bringing the truth. Too much of a pain in the ass. One thing I have found in my later years is I don't enjoy ass pain. Not at all. So I agree. It is too much of a pain in the ass. Or, as I also like to say, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. So, yeah. I want to talk about it now, but like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Brett coming in with the alien face. For whatever reason, I can't share it, just that. See, now you're trying to win me over. Playing up to my superficial side, which, let's be real, is most of me. Being that as it may, I almost totally fell off this chair. But I didn't. Yeah. So, okay, what else did I talk about in the description? 622 stuff. It's dumb to make an announcement for an announcement, but we are going to be announcing the next batch of 622s this week. Gonna be a little different, yeah, it's gonna be a little different, but I think it'll be very cool. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. And I know this is very much like those people that post like, "Oh man, big news coming." It's not big news. It's just we're gonna do some 622s and we'll announce it later this week. 622, that model itself, over the last year, I finally got around to doing the Floyd version, and I made the rear routed style with the output jack on the side of the body. I made one of those that my buddy Chris picked up, and we'll have that wrapped up shortly, which is good. Before I left last week, we dropped 4 guitars off to get plaqued. And then, Evan, yours is good to go. So I will get with you tomorrow and we can coordinate shipping and all of that stuff. Oh, this is a good segue. And that, one of the things I was going to ask you is if you have a gig bag or hard case preference. Oh, this is a really good segue. One of the things, I'm really glad I thought of this. One of the things that I've been looking into, well, I've been thinking about a lot of things over the last month, couple of months. Especially, once I kind of made the decision to like, all right, we're going to lean into the whole boutique side of things, because let's face it, we fall into that category. And so I've been doing some, some thinking, some research, trying to, get some thoughts together. And part of that research is doing something that I don't do. And that's show interest in other manufacturers and see, well, what are these people doing? And I was, so I went to my, went and saw my pals at the Guitar Sanctuary, and did a bit of a fact-finding mission. And so in this fact-finding mission, I wanted to see, one, what kind of case candy, that's fun, other, the high-end fancy pants manufacturers provide, and what's the case situation look like? Because I've had G&G cases made for 71s and for Concords. And I don't plan on changing that necessarily, although we may go with a different manufacturer. I just wanted to see, because the other thing with like having cases or gig bags, the thing with that is you got to have a lot of them. So especially if you're having them made, and there are challenges in doing so. For example, I was one of the things that I've been looking into is, I've found the factories that make the cases for the companies that, that make like TKL cases and SKB cases and that sort of thing. Or the mono gig bags or so on and so forth. I found them. And, working with them, you gotta buy a lot. And I mean a lot. And while the cost per unit is, pretty good, you got to have a bunch of them. And the thing that is real difficult for Sully guitars is we got a lot of really weird shapes. And so like if we were to have, let's say we were to go that route and we had, a shitload of cases made. Let's say we have 500 cases made, which is minimum order quantity for a lot of these things, for a lot of these companies. And now, my experience so far with high minimum order quantities is some places will say, you've got to order this much, but you could break it up into like X number of this, X number of this, X number of this, all that together is your minimum order quantity. Whereas some people might not, but whatever, that part of the whole process. But like, number one, where am I going to put that many? And number two, it would be nice to have these things and just not have to worry about them. But, that's a lot of money that I don't have. And space-wise, where's it going to go? And, it would be really nice if there was like, this case is pretty universal for Sully guitars, but that's my own damn fault. But so in my research at Guitar Sanctuary, my fact-finding mission, if you will, and I think you will, I was really surprised that many of the manufacturers that I consider, or that I look to somewhat for, the ones I'm considering, like Anderson, Sir, things like that, a lot more gig bags than I thought, a lot more than I expected. And then so I'm like, for me, see, like even in these comments, we've got both sides, and like there's almost there's no right, or I don't think there's a right answer. It's like this debate, not even so much debate, this question is completely split. Just like when I was doing some bass fact finding, where like you like the 1.5 inch nut width, like on a jazz bass, or you like the one that's on a P bass, which I think is 1 11/16. There's no majority, and sometimes it really pisses me off because like I'm in the same spot. So let's ask the people, and I've learned that we're all in the same spot, which I guess it's comforting in that we're all in this together, sure, but I'm trying to make a decision here. But so we have here, Hardcase, I'm 60 and old school. Valid. Here comes Chris. I get it. Completely get it. And those conspiracy series gig bags, I worked really hard on. And then we have, see this. So this is kind of where I was. Now I don't, that's kind of where I was. But I'm surprised, looking at like Sirs, and the majority, or what I was told, is that they only do hard cases on their signature models. And I found, well, that's interesting, because what Brett said. So, but then I also, so Brett's been a longtime customer, has a bunch of guitars. One thing I know about Brett is that he doesn't care about, my experience has been, don't necessarily want to have cases for storage and all that stuff because they take up a lot of space. It's like I think for things like Concords, Revolutions, the big pointy stuff, hardshell cases make perfect sense. But if we had a really nice gig bag that worked for Stardust 624, 624T, 622s, 92s, until I decide to kill those off again, which that's coming. I think I say that all the time. But if we had one, like a universal one, much like what Chris said here, the Conspiracy Series 624T, those gig bags are good, and that's pretty universal. I've got one right here. So this one, and I can get a more robust one made, but this one, it's nice. It's super padded inside. I have them make little hot dog pads for the bottom, because we got the points. We got a little neck strap here. We've got the little headstock tortilla, we'll call that. Ow. Um, oh, one thing, not everybody notices this because it is very subtle, like the B in the letter subtle. The letter B in the word subtle. We've got a little hook. So you can hang it in the closet if you want to. I don't know that anyone ever uses this. Maybe on a plane, hanging in the closet. I don't know your life, but you got that there. We've also got this little guy, which, like, when somebody told me to consider adding that, actually, that was part of a fact-finding mission. This, it was a result of a fact-finding mission I had at the Guitar Sanctuary. And when I suggested, hey, put one of those handles on the front. I'm like, really? I'm like, and in using it, oh yeah, that was a good suggestion. Yeah, because I had some prototypes, some samples made, and I'm like, these are okay, but like, meh. Anyway. So if we had one that was like universal, like that one was, I think that would be good. But like, I do have that thing kind of sitting over my head, like Brett said. If it's at a particular price point, you should have the fancy pants, whatnot. I think what I could also do is, with certain models, we can say it comes with a gig bag, but if you would like to purchase a hard shell case, you can. But then the thing that I'm going to run into is like, I'm going to have those cases on hand too. So it's like, it's tough to make, it's impossible to make everyone happy, but I want to make as many people as happy as I possibly can. And there are these things where it's just like, I just don't know what the right answer is. So, yeah. Let's see. I love that hard cases are easy to stack and store in a relatively limited space, but they're awkward to transport. Yes. Soft cases are much more practical to use as cases, like easier to carry for transport. Soft cases are more practical, for transporting guitars, but they're trickier to store. That I can see. I can see that. Pointy and oversized guitars also don't lend themselves to gig bags very well. That's true. However, the Elita gig bags are good. Raven gig bags are good. We do have those. I just don't have any right now. And I don't think like if I were to do that, I don't know that this would be the model that I would use, because like, unfortunately, I don't have the direct contact to that factory to where I could order just, I would have to order them through the factory that makes the Conspiracy Series guitars. Yeah. Let's say, okay, we've got some comments here. Conspiracy Series bags are great. The Elita bag will hold a Rhodes style. Rodrigo loves those gig bags. Oh, Joe's connection keeps skipping into the future. That's the other thing. My Supernova case is ginormous. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a big guitar. And with big guitars, you have big cases, unfortunately. But yeah, that thing's massive. You should see a double Rhodes case. Those things are hilarious. Let's see. Okay. Brett has used the hanger. Oh, nice. Alita, all right. Big Dave coming through. I appreciate that. Yeah, Dave, what's funny is, I'm sure you figured this out. Your Supernova should fit in your Elita gig bag. Yeah, so that's good. Wait, Ryan, I see your gig bag misspelled comment, but I don't see a previous one. Huh. Your Raven and Nice Man gig bags are great. Your Nice Man gig bag was an Elita gig bag, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. Gig bag. Sorry, misspelled. I can't see your previous comment with the typo. I'm not looking for it to shame you for spelling. But I wanted to at least make sure that I found your original statement. But anyway, so yeah, that's the thing that I just don't have the answer for. So I'm talking with G&G, also TKL, to see the thing that just to see what we can do. Because if we can come up with a hybrid case that works for like Stardust 624, 624T, 625. See, but if we do that, the inside compartment is not going to be form fit. It just wouldn't be. I also don't know how big of a deal that would be because they're just about all the same size. But anyway, yeah. So that is something that, so we've been doing that. We've been looking at, just some of the other things that get included. I try and put a bunch of fun stuff in there. I guess, I got stickers and stuff, and then I realize that I figured that people would use the stickers, but they don't. Or at least from what I see, when guitars get moved on Reverb, they often have the case candy in them, which is fine. I know that some people just like to keep things intact. So, and that's fine. As long as you like the guitar, that's all I care about. So, yeah, I mean, right. It is Sully guitars. It's not Sully case candy yet. Yeah. So yeah, that's the whole, that's one of the things that I've been kind of turning around in my brain. Let's see. There is going to be another conspiracy series run, a little teeny tiny one. I want to get that announced this month. I have to get the mock-ups made. Here's where I'm leaning. This doesn't necessarily mean this is what it's going to be. Yes, Sean. The cleaning cloth is the most useful case candy I've seen. Yes, please. If you have a Sully that came with a cleaning cloth, please use it. They're really nice. Yeah. So. Before I get into that, I see this out of the corner of my eye, so I'm going to show it to you. I recently got my most KMFDM, the new album on vinyl. Got gatefold. I was super happy to see on this one just so many writing credits for Andy on this, which is super, super rad. And one of the things that I just think it's very, very kind, is that KMFDM does a really, really lovely job. And they don't have to do this, and no one has to do this, but KMFDM does. And that's really sweet, is, they've got the logos of all of their, products that they use. And there you go, kids, right there. Right there. It's blurry on the screen. Thank you very much to Sasha and everyone in the KMFDM crew. Sasha. Because that's super, super nice. KMFDM is on tour right now. Go see them if they are in your area. It's a good time. And you can hear Andy pull off all of that stuff live, which is, absolutely bonkers. Sadly, there isn't a Dallas date on this on this tour. I'm trying not to take that personally. But yeah. So, okay. Little conspiracy series run. Here's what my thoughts are. 3 models. There will be no variations of it. It's just a little teeny tiny thing. It's going to be, I think we're going to do a 624T. There's going to be a Stardust Deluxe, like a version. And I think I want to do, so there was the idea of maybe do another guitar model, but I think I want to do the Raven bass. So yeah, that's my thoughts of what we're going to roll with for this next little run. This one is, I think it'll be fun. I like with the idea of being able to do these little mini runs. I'm kind of using that for now in the manner of where it's like, let's just do some fun with variations and stuff. Yeah. So like the Stardust Deluxe that will have maybe like a walnut or a wenge, top. I don't believe that it's going to do the. I don't think we're going to do the inlaid pickguard on there because I don't think that's going to be an option. But like, who cares? It's going to. We may do the little semi-hollow WTF hole. And like, I don't know, maybe it'll have a 622 style neck on it. Nobody knows. Yeah, there's Andy. I was joking with. I've heard Kylie Minogue fans don't murder. Kill my fucking dog, Mister. And Andy's got like this whole long list of good, acronyms for KMFDM or meanings for the KMFDM. Yeah, so that's my thought of what we're gonna do. So I have to get the CAD files to the factory. And that means I've got to finalize them, which means, so again, it's one of the things that really delays these, announcements of runs and stuff is me having the time to like finalize the CAD and get mock-ups done. But I will be on that this week. So the sooner we can get that going, the sooner you can get one going. And yeah, so no. Anyway, that's all I've got. I'm gonna prepare for this for my Ace live stream with Glenn later. I'm gonna listen to the album again and make notes and try and be prepared. Hell yeah on the Raven bass. Hell yeah to you, my friend. It's only gonna have 4 strings. I'm sorry. I'm not out there trying to live that 5-string life, except for young David over here. But once we make that one, David's making a bass. Once we make that one, we'll have the programming done. So once we have that, then it makes things easier to do in the future. But like, really, I don't know if I'm really trying to get into that 5-string life. But I don't know that I'm not. What I'm really trying to get into is that maintaining living indoors life. So, yeah. Yes, I said it. And then there's the question, like, what color is it going to be? A lot of Raven basses that we made so far are sparkle white. I don't know. You know why? Because it's pretty dope. But then there's a part of me that's like, Do we do like a tobacco burst? I mean, I haven't. It could be kind of rad. I don't know. That's another thing that puts these kinds of decisions off. I don't know. Trying to guess what you'll buy is not something I've figured out too well. So, and then, you can have polls and you can go, hey, are we going to do this? We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And, you can get a whole bunch of people that want to say, put their opinions in. Doesn't mean that they're going to put their money in. And then, likes don't equal dollars. I figured out. I don't know. I don't think so right now, but again, I have no idea. Je ne sais pas. Yeah. So, we got a few minutes left. If anybody has a question, I happen to answer it. No? Yeah. So we'll just hang out here for a little bit longer, and we'll get on with our lives. You want to see the candy floss? Yeah, you do. Come here, you. I also have this idea for an Astro that's kind of based on the Astro base that we designed. Look at that. Would you just fucking look at that? This quilt is so good. You'll want to just, you look at this and you're like instantaneously cozy. There is a little bit, you can't really tell. When we were going through the process, there's quilt maple from the cutoff from the top on the back of the heel. And when we were in the paint process, the question was, hey, what do you want to do with this heel? And I thought, I'll just do it purple because like it'll show up. I should have done it pink. I mean, you can still see it, but like, it was one of those things where I was doing something at the time and wasn't really able to. Sean McCloskey just sends me an empty comment. I'm reading his thoughts. Oh, okay, I see. So yeah, candy floss is great. This one was got a lot of positive attention at NAMM, which I like because it was. I thought it would be a fun color, and like this is a good one for NAMM because it's a little different. It is attention getting. Yeah. I don't really want to get super into it, but like the whole boutique guitar showcase thing. One of the things that I really enjoyed about that is like, I had a lot of really nice comments about that guitar and that guitar, that guitar. That was something that meant a lot to me. One of the things that a comment that I was given on a pretty regular basis at the show is that people who weren't familiar with what I do said, we're learning about stuff. And I would get a comment that said, your designs are very feminine, which I take as a compliment. I don't really know what it means. I mean, I kind of do. But yeah, I thought that was very kind. Are they worth the money? This Soldano Astro fucking rules. That's all I got. Fucking rules. Admittedly, I live on the red channel, which is like the, and it's so good. But like all of the clean channels and stuff, fucking great. The software I gotta play with, and we gotta get going. And Dave, come on, man. Don't be that guy. Dave. Have a good day.